Earlier, we have defined first countable spaces and we have discussed some examples. Today, I will discuss some properties of first countable spaces. Let me first recall you the definition of first countable space. A topological space is said to be first countable if and only if there exists a countable local base at each of its points. By a local base at a point x in a topological space, we mean a collection of neighborhoods of x such that for each neighborhood of x, there exists a member of local base contained in that neighborhood. Before coming to the first theorem, we need a definition, the definition of hereditary property. A property of a topological space X is said to be a hereditary property if and only if every subspace of X has that property. Now, the first theorem states that the property of being a first countable space is a hereditary property. That means we have to show that every subspace of a first countable space is also first countable. Let us prove this theorem. Let Y with subspace topology Ty be a subspace of a first countable space Xt. And we have to show that Y together with Ty is first countable. So we have to show that Y has a countable local base at each of its points. So we take some point, let Y be an arbitrary point of space Y. Since Y is a subset of X, and so Y also belongs to space X, and since X is first countable, so there exists a countable local base P of Y at Y. As for any T neighborhood N of Y, there exists a member B in local base B of Y such that B is contained in N, and so B intersection Y is contained in N intersection Y. And we know that if N is a T neighborhood of Y, then N intersection Y is a Ty neighborhood of Y. And so the collection B star of Y consists of the sets of the form B intersection Y, where B belongs to local base B of Y, is a local base at Y in subspace Y. Why? Because for any neighborhood N intersection Y of Y, there exists a member of this collection B intersection Y. And so we can say that B star of Y is a local base at Y in the subspace Y. As this collection is also countable. Why? Because corresponding to every member in B of Y, there is a member in B star Y, and since B of Y is countable, so B star Y is also countable. So we have shown that there exists a countable local base at any point Y in Y, and so Y is first countable. Hence, the property of being a first countable space is a hereditary property. Now the next theorem states that let Xt be a first countable space, then there exists a monotonically decreasing local base at every point of X. Let us prove this theorem. Let X be an arbitrary point of space X, as Xt is first countable. So there exists a countable local base at X, say B of X, and since this is countable, this set can be written as the collection of sets Bn, where n belongs to the set capital lambda, which is a subset of the set of natural numbers. Let D1 is equal to B1, that is the first member of the local base B of x, and D2 is equal to B1 intersection B2, that is intersection of first two members of B of x. Similarly, D3 is intersection of first three members of B of x, and similarly any Dn is intersection of first n members of the local base B of x. And then we note that D1 contains D2 and D2 contains D3, D3 contains D4, and so on. Dn contains Dn plus 1 like this. As each Bn is a neighborhood of x, so each Dn is a neighborhood of x because Dn is obtained by taking intersection of members of B of x. And since each member of B of x is a neighborhood of x, an intersection of finite number of members of B of x is also a neighborhood of x. So each Dn is a neighborhood of x. We shall show that the collection D containing sets Dn where n belongs to capital lambda and capital lambda is a subset of the set of natural numbers is a local base at x. Let M be a neighborhood of x. As B of x is a local base at x, so there exists some member B and B and naught of B of x such that B and naught is contained in the neighborhood M. Because B of x is a local base, so for each neighborhood M of x there must exist some member of this local base and which we have denoted by B and naught. As we know that D and naught is contained in B and naught and B and naught is contained in M, so D and naught is contained in M. So we have shown that for each neighborhood M of x there exists a member D and naught of the collection D. Consequently, D is a local base at x. Hence, there exists a monotonically decreasing local base at every point of the space. Now, the next theorem states that let xt be a first countable space and yv be any topological space if a function f from x to y is sequentially continuous, then f is continuous. Earlier we have proved that if x and y are any two topological spaces and f is a mapping from x to y and f is continuous, then f is also sequentially continuous. You must have read in metric spaces that sequential continuity and continuity are equivalent. But here we have to show that if f is first countable and y is any topological space, then any mapping f from x to y is sequentially continuous implies function f is also continuous. Let us prove this theorem. Let f be sequentially continuous, then f is sequentially continuous at every point. So if x naught be any arbitrary point of x, then f is sequentially continuous at x naught. Let me recall you sequential continuity at point x naught. Function f is said to be sequentially continuous at x naught if for every sequence xn in x which converges to x naught, the sequence of functional values, that is f of xn, converges to f of x naught. We have to show that f is continuous at x naught. We shall prove the contrapositive of the statement, that is, we show that if f is not continuous at x naught, then f cannot be sequentially continuous at point x naught. So let f be not continuous at x naught, then there exists a V neighborhood M of f of x naught such that for each t neighborhood n of x naught, f of n is not contained in M. Let me recall you the definition of continuity at point x naught. F is said to be continuous at point x naught if for every V neighborhood M of f of x naught there exists a T neighborhood M n of x naught such that f of n is contained in M. But here we have to take negation of the statement. That is because here f is not continuous at x naught. So there exists at least one neighborhood M of f of x naught such that for every neighborhood n of x naught, f of n is not contained in M. Then as f of n is a subset of y, so f of n must contain some element of complement of M. And so f of n intersection complement of M is non-empty for every neighborhood n of x naught. We mark it as 1. As xt is first countable, so by previous theorem there exists a monotonically decreasing countable local base at x naught. Say B of x naught consists of sets Bn where n belongs to capital lambda and capital lambda is a subset of the set of natural numbers. As each Bn is a T neighborhood of x naught, so from 1 we have f of Bn intersection y minus m is non-empty for every n belongs to capital lambda contained in n. So there exists, because this is non-empty, so there exists some element, there exists some an belongs to f of Bn intersection complement of m for every n belongs to capital lambda is contained in n. Then an belongs to f of Bn and an belongs to complement of m for every n belongs to capital lambda which is contained in the set of natural numbers n. As Bn belongs to f of Bn, so there exists some member Bn of set Bn such that f of Bn is equal to An for every n belongs to capital lambda which is contained in n. We claim that the sequence Bn converges to x naught. So we have to show that the sequence Bn converges to x naught. That means we have to show that every open set containing x naught contains all the terms of the sequence except finite number of terms. So let G be any T open set containing x naught. Then we have to show that G contains infinitely many terms of the sequence except finite number of terms. As B of x naught is a local base at x naught, so there exists some member B n naught of this local base such that B n naught is contained in G. But as B1 contains B2, B2 contains B3 and like this, so Bn is contained in Bn naught for all n greater than or equal to n naught. And so Bn belongs to Bn and Bn is contained in Bn naught and Bn naught is contained in G for every n greater than or equal to n naught. That is Bn belongs to G for every n greater than or equal to n naught. This implies that the sequence Bn converges to x naught because we have taken an arbitrary open set containing x naught and we have shown that that open set contains all the terms of the sequence except finite number of terms. So we can say that the sequence Bn converges to x naught. But the sequence of functional values, that is the sequence f of Bn, which is equal to sequence An, does not converge to f of x naught, as there exists a V neighborhood M of f of x naught such that An doesn't belong to M, because we know that an belongs to y minus m, complement of m. And so an doesn't belong to M. So we have shown that there exists a neighborhood M of x naught which does not contain any element of the sequence f of Bn. So f is not sequentially continuous because we have shown that Bn converges to x naught, but the sequence of functional values, that is f of Bn, does not converge to f of x naught. So this implies that f is not sequentially continuous. Hence, if a function from x to y is sequentially continuous, then that function is also continuous. Now we have a remark. If xt is a first countable space and yv be any topological space, then a function f from x to y is sequentially continuous if and only if f is continuous, because we know that if we have f any function from x to y and which is continuous, then function is also sequentially continuous. Thank you.